Hey, what's up guys? Tony here, and you're watching some more Medal of Honor beta footage. And in this commentary, I actually have a couple of topics that I want to discuss. One is going to be tactics, so I'm going to tackle that one first, and the second one is going to be class setups. So what I want to do first is kind of go over tactics, and just to kind of go over what's going on right now. We're defending right now, and we actually have 5 people, believe it or not. Like, we actually got 5 people into a party, and we got all 5 of those people into this game. It was amazing. And we had it happen. We were getting a couple of games before the server balanced itself and we got separated. And then at that point, we're like, you know what? We should probably just call it a night. We had a good we had a good run, and it's not going to get any better than this. But what's going on right here is, like I said, we're defending these objectives in hotspot. And Veggie rather smartly said, hey, by the way, I'm noticing that a lot of people like to run up and down the causeway, and this sort of is a focal point for a lot of fighting. I said, okay, that's actually really brilliant. So, and by the way, he just calls it a causeway just because he's, for no other reason besides he just started calling it a causeway, and he's, it was kind of funny in the game, he's like, I don't even know what a causeway is, but I'm just going to call it that. And it's effective because we really, in this game, like I said in my first impression video, this game is one where team communication is essential. It is, to be effective, to be an effective fire team, you need to be able to communicate with your team. So having callouts, something that's not normally seen in, say, a Battlefield video, or I mean a Battlefield community and a Battlefield squad, becomes very, very effective. Now, I know there's gonna be people out there who be like, we use callouts on my, Battlefield team, whatever. But I don't feel, for the most part, callouts aren't necessary in Battlefield because you've got the kill cam. You can tell your teammates in great detail after you die where somebody is. He's like, oh, he killed me, and now he went prone. He's underneath the stairs, a couple of feet where I had just been killed. And someone's like, oh, okay, yeah. So you give them great detailed description of where the hell you just got killed. Well, in a game like this, in a game like Call of Duty, when the action is happening so fast and there's not a very long kill cam, you need to tell people, like, oh, he went to, like, we call this area, we were calling it King's Mouth, or we called it Joker's Bridge, or King's Bridge, or Joker's Mouth. We just had a couple of call outs for it, and we described this whole area as upper and lower causeway. And so Veggie and I are tackling the lower causeway, and we had a couple of guys up to the upper causeway, and we were basically trying to handle the peripheral routes and get a few guys spread out on the main, attacking routes, and control these engagements and do all the normal stuff you always hear those Call of Duty commentators talking about, like control the engagement and head glitch and whatever, So that's what we were doing. And on this map, it's very effective. If you're defending, you can really manhandle the other team and make sure that they have a very bad time. And that's kind of the purpose of a game. I mean, as shitty as shitty as it sounds, your goal is to always be the team that wins. And so if you have to make the other team have a bad time, that's that's kind of how it works. We all can't be winners. Sometimes there are losers, and you want it to be the other team. You don't want it to be you. That's for damn sure. So so when you're playing this game mode, and this demo is going to be, or this beta is going to be available up until the 15th. So if you feel the need to continue to play, I don't know how much more of the beta I'm going to get a chance to play, but what I've noticed, like I said, is that's what I'm sharing with you guys right now. This is a great tactic for defense, holding down this area. And it might sound, like pretty obvious information, Tony. Why do you feel compelled to share it? Because of the fact, for me, I've been struggling with how to play this game. I have tried about 2 or 3 approaches to this game, and I have yet to find one. This has been the one so far that has been the most successful. And it's really a no-brainer sort of a thing. You sit here, you wait for people to come up to you, and you just defend. That's really easy. But so far, I've been trying to rush, and I've been trying to play really aggressively. I've tried to play really conservatively, and I run through the entire gamut of, running myself into kills, or playing so slow that you get hacked from behind by a tomahawk. So I've been in this realm, this world, this I don't know, mode. Trying to find the right word. But I've been in this spot where I'm trying to find that happy medium between rushing and defending and playing slower, more methodically. And so this is a good way to approach defense. If you can have teammates that you can depend upon. If not, then you're going to get stuck in a position where you're on this causeway, you're on this tunnel system or whatever you want to call it, and you're going to get flanked from the backside because nobody's watching the backside, you know. So it's one of those things where it requires good communication throughout the entire team to pull off. And so that's why when I mentioned that we had 5 out of the 9 players on our team in one call, it's pretty impressive. You know, it's just like, wow, the Medal of Honor gods graced us for this 30 minutes or whatever that we're all on the same team. It was nice. So anyways, that's the best tactic that I've come up with for defense. Now, it's only like the first couple of objectives. I think the first 2 objectives, because they're behind you. The third objective is in front of you, so you're going to have to go and move out from that area. But you know what? You've got 2. By this point, if you're able to secure and hold this whole causeway area and the backside area, you've got 2 out of the 3 necessary to win, and so it shouldn't be that difficult to get that last one out of the way. So anyways, what I want to do is I want to transition from classes, and so I've been having these discussions with people either online or, well, obviously all of it online, but either through Twitter or, you know, through Skype, and just sort of talking rather casually about classes. And I am a guy that when things aren't going well for me, the first thing I do is I switch classes or I switch weapons to try to change it up, you know. And I do that in Battlefield a lot. It's like, oh, okay, if I can't kill with the M4 today, then I'll use the G36. If I can't kill with the AUG, then I'll switch to the M16. You know, it's just, you get these mental things that you do to assure that you do well. Some people might call them superstition or whatever, because, you know, it's like, it's not the gun's fault, you know, you're just playing like shit. But the fact of the matter is you're like, no, this is the gun's fault, clearly, and I need it to, you know, I need to fix it by using a different gun, you know. And I mean, I guess what I'll say is sometimes it is the gun's fault, because if you might need a faster firing weapon to compensate for whatever lag or latency you might be encountering in whatever server you're playing on. So there is a little bit of that. I guess I won't rule that out completely. But for me in this game, so speaking only on this game, the class that I gravitated towards to begin with was the assault class, or the assaulter class. And you start out with the HK 416, and you unlock whatever little attachments you go with. And for me, when I was using the class, I couldn't get over the fact that the guy moved so slow. And the funny thing is people move even slower than that. I'm just like, what the freaking crap is going on? So I think the assault guy moves really, really slow, and I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. So I tried, whenever I unlocked the point man class, I unlocked that one, and the guy is just like, he's like a Kenyan, you know, long distance runner. The guy runs and he's fast and he gets all over the place, and it's nice. It really is super nice. The problem is, though, is I found out that the weapons are really, really inaccurate. You have to really get up close to make those weapons work. So that doesn't really work with my playstyle. I'm the kind of guy that I like to get in close. I like to kind of rush. I'm sort of like a pseudo rusher, like rusher with, I don't know, caution. I don't know how to quite describe it, but I'm sort of this like hybrid rusher / defensive player. I really like to get up close and in someone's face, but I also like to have those medium to mid long range kills. And I was finding that the point man class wasn't really working for me, because the weapon was incredibly inaccurate, for me at least, from any sort of range. So what more often than not, as I'd get caught with, you know, your pants down essentially as you're running around a corner and some guy's running at you and you're like, oh shit, I'm running, and your gun doesn't come up in time, so you get killed. So I went from that class, and then I tried the what was it, the heavy class, the guy with the machine gun, and that one is just like, you just pretty much, I don't know, walk through the you like walk through the map. You like trudge along just really slow, and it's just not my cup of tea at all. It is it just takes too long to get places. I'm the mover and shaker. I like to move around. So finally what happened is I got all the classes unlocked after, I don't really know, I don't remember how many hours of playing, but once I got all the classes unlocked, I decided to try this Spec Ops class, and it has been the answer to my prayers, I guess. It is the class that I think is the most I guess the most balanced for me. It is a class that you move very quickly throughout the map. You're lightweight, you're very maneuverable, but you have a weapon that is essentially a good close range weapon to like a medium range weapon. It fills that sort of need in me to rush around the map and flank. That's really what I enjoy doing, is flanking and getting on their flanks, obviously, and shooting them from the back. And yeah, see, that's the problem I still have with the game, is that you can't really tell who's a good guy, who's a bad guy sometimes. So so here we go. Here's the flip side of that, is so they're spawning on the other side now. So here we are rushing back through the causeway to defend it now, because we need to attack and get these guys out of there and keep them away from the objective. But the problem is once we get back here, we realize, like, holy crap, we are we're way out of position. We need to get back. So going back on what I'm saying is that I went through this whole evolution of trying to figure out which classes worked best for me. I was looking at my battle log, and I'll put my battle log quickly, stats up there. I have the same KD with the assault class in the Spec Ops class, but I feel more comfortable using the Spec Ops class. It's just, I don't know, you get those feelings, like, I just feel this, like deep down inside, I just feel it. And so what I want to know from you guys who have been playing the game, one, have you guys noticed any sort of tactics that seem to be working? Or, I mean, are you guys in a situation where it just feels like a cluster, like a clusterfuck? Pretty much that's the best way I can describe it, because that's what this game feels like 99.5% of the time, just like a complete cluster. And without an organized team, this game, it almost seems unmanageable. It's impossible to depend on your teammates. So I really hope my friends do pick up this game, because I'd like to put in 10 people on a team, just do a full party against a bunch of randoms and pub stomp like you do in Call of Duty, because that's actually really fun. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it, but it's a hell of a lot of fun to go and pub stomp with a full team. You're there to have a good time, and it's gonna have to come at the expense of somebody else. I mean, that's sort of the truth of the matter. It sounds really bad, but that's it. That's the truth of the matter. And the other thing is that I want to know is what classes have you settled upon, and so what classes did you kind of start to use, and if you can in the comment section, kind of fill up that and get into sort of a lengthier discussion of like how you went from one class to whatever class you're settled upon now, maybe what you feel is the best class for your playstyle. So anyways, guys, Veggie and I, we took the top fire team. He went 25-10, I went 20-7, and it was a really good game. I think we had a couple of guys backing out because they're not a full team on that side. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.